Good morning, everyone. We're going to start this morning with a little update on the progress that we're making with regard to the new building that we would like to put up here. We had a very good meeting, productive meeting yesterday with the planning committee. One of our devotees from Washington, D.C., Chinmay Mitra, is an architect who is doing everything just on a volunteer basis. He's come up with a very nice plan. This will give us a minimum of 100 seats in the auditorium. We could actually put in more, but it'll be roughly 100 seats, and there'll be a dining area. Do we want to, this is the outside, do we want to show the layout?
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there'll be a dining area, which also could be a place with the closed circuit TV and overflow. So if we have some programs where we have closer to 200 people, we could even manage, probably. And for those who don't know, the plan is to utilize this. This is quite a large property. It looks like a small property because of all the woods, but there's actually a large area that can be cleared out, and we can put up the building there. And we also met with a builder. We'll be trying to get bids from a few different builders, but we also had a very, very positive meeting. And we had some idea that this would be a rather expensive project and maybe out of our range, but it's starting to look very realistic. And I was a little bit skeptical in the beginning. Now I'm actually very optimistic. I'm very optimistic that we could probably break ground the beginning of next year. Yes. Yeah. We'll come up later with a much more definite plan and renderings, and also when we have a firm figure for the whole project, and when we know exactly how much money we have and how much money we need. But I think it'll be much less than the $1 million we first thought about, if we can manage with the septic tank instead of doing that other project. So we're within range. And there will be appeals made for people to help donate to cover the cost. It can be done with some loans. We prefer that we don't have any loans if possible. But as I say, I'm very optimistic. The plans are very nice. We went through all different versions of it and everything. And it'll be a great benefit and blessing to this center. Now you can see how crowded everything is. This will remain here, so we can have 2 bedrooms now for the visiting monks, or if we ever have permanent the monk who stays here. This could be used for a very nice full bookstore, office, classroom, and then we have the other room off the side. So it'll really be a full center. We'll be able to do everything here except for a few large pujas, and that we can always rent the temple or something like that. Otherwise it'll be really a full-fledged center at that time. So as I say, finally I'm feeling optimistic. I was good. Yeah, I was a little nervous before. How do we raise so much money and everything? But we've scaled things down so that we're not putting up something too small for us, but it's also realistic, and I think it'll serve the purposes of the center for a long time. So, as I say, there'll be more of a specific type of appeal once we know exactly how much money we need and everything. But in the meantime, if anybody is anxious now to make a pledge for the building fund, that of course that'll be very much appreciated if anyone would like to do that. And
So,
yeah, what else can I add?
Yeah, one thing is those of you who have already pledged money, if you remember, we had asked for September 30 by September 30. So if you can start sending your pledges by September 30. The pledges that Swamiji is talking about, new pledges, those who have not pledged yet, please consider pledges. And then the other thing is, say you are, you want to contribute when you see actually things happening. That is, totally up to you. But then that also, it would be helpful for us if you tell us that when it actually starts, this is what I will contribute or we will contribute, because that helps in the budgeting part. So, if you feel comfortable, you can obviously, the more we have in the bank account, the better footing we are on. But if you think that you need a little more time, at least if you can pledge that this is what we intend to give, that would be very helpful.
And I think once we have a signed contract with the builder and they're pulling building permits and everything, everybody can be really optimistic and not have any concerns that we won't go through with the whole thing. We're not going to start until we know that it's a viable project.
Yeah.
So I think even at that point, even before we break ground, but once we break ground, then there's no question we won't start until we know that we'll be able to complete everything. And I think in the beginning I thought, let everybody just make pledges. We don't want to start taking money if we don't know that we'll really get enough. But now I'm optimistic. I think we can really go full steam ahead with the project.
Yeah. Okay, Swamiji, thank you.
And we've been here so long. We spent years looking for another property to buy. And there was always some zoning problem, or else there wasn't a big enough seating area, always some problem. And this center has been blessed by so many monks who have come here, the Swami Swananji from the very beginning. And to be in our own property, we're all used to this. And it's so close to the airport, it's very convenient for everyone. So I think this is the best solution. Yeah.
This is our future shrine. This is how it will look, the future shrine. And then in terms of, if you look at the drawing, this part could easily be used for, this will be a good 60-70 dining space. And plus we will have space here also for a little larger crowd, because this will be more like a monk quarter.
And there'll be an open patio underneath the rear end of the building because of the slope.
Yeah.
So nice weather, we can have tables and chairs, and a lot of people can sit down there also. It's a large area.
And it would be a concrete patio.
Concrete patio.
So people can sit there. And if we want, if we have additional money, we can close it.
We could screen it in or
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
And this could be used for classroom also, plus this room, these rooms could be classrooms. So even though there might be programs going on in the main shrine,
Yeah.
the children's
They can
classes
be-
will
they
not
can
be
be-
impacted. They can continue operations even.
One question. So
Yeah.
there will be enough parking area?
So this one parking has 59 parking spots.
Planter
Yeah.
first city.
Yeah, so this is important actually.
Very good.
So this is very important, because if you see, like, people wonder how we can do all of this in this place. This is where this current building is, right here. And all of this space is empty. This is where the current building is. This is all empty, and this is the future shrine that is being conceptualized, this right here. And this is all parking here, here. And then we haven't done any parking in the back, or just on the side here, some ADA parking, but nothing here. So if, based on expenses and everything, what CT says, we can have the provision of septic tank that could significantly decrease the cost. But if they want city water and sewer, and depending on our budgeting, if we do city sewer and water, that will be more expensive than what you heard earlier. But this is, the parking is 59. So 59 parking, if you consider
Including 5 ADA.
5 including 8, yeah.
So we will have wheelchair access
Right.
to the shrine.
So that is plenty of
Plus we have
parking.
these ones also. These
No,
ones.
it includes
Yeah.
this.
We have
Yeah,
Yeah.
includes this.
Samraj?
Did we mention the land is 1.7?
Yeah, the land is 1.78 acre land. This is not a very small, tiny land. Sai Baba Mandir, those who have been to Sai Baba Mandir, exactly same amount of land. 1.78 acre land is what they have. So it is not a tiny piece of land that we have.
And just one, I wanted to say that previously you said the basement area will be empty, so that in future if we get more funds, then we can have more provision to build up something there, so that the kitchen and the dining can be turned into the basement area,
So
and
what
the upper
the
area can be utilized for other purposes.
so what Chinmayji has suggested, this area,
Show
like
the
Swamiji
big one.
mentioned, the dining hall.
Show on the big.
The dining hall area, there will be open space below that. That is a good amount of, how many, Manojda, how much square foot is this area? It's 1300 or something, right, this area?
On 1200 square.
1200 square foot additional here.
So we can get at least the same number of seating underneath it,
Correct.
because
Underneath it.
there's no kitchen, there's no stove or anything.
Right.
So if at least if the weather is half decent, then we could really seat a lot of people.
Right,
Yeah.
and then
Top
Manojda, you
and
can
bottom.
correct me, but Chinmayji, Swamiji had said, the way it is done, in the future, if you really want to expand, you can have pillars here and do this part also. So this part, then it will be a whole square or rectangle, whatever you call it. So that could also be, that will be a significant extension.
In
So,
future.
yeah, in future, that
Yeah.
is not, but there will be a provision for it.
And will there be a fence around the border so that?
That's under consideration.
I think
Yeah.
I think landscaping will be nicer. We can have rows of trees and everything. There could be fencing, but there's fencing is not going to keep people in or out. Yeah.
Yes, so
But if
we
we-
have,
Not people
but a
like
bit of
dogs
barrier.
and dogs and pets, you know, they come
So,
and
Shekhaji, we have actually applied for a federal grant. If it is approved, we'll get up to $150,000 from the federal grant, which will pay for fencing, alarm system, bigger doors, all peripheral lights,
is-
generators, so advanced security systems. That federal grant has been applied to. We'll see what the outcome is
Okay.
When will you come to know?
on November of this year. Thank you.
And anybody have any questions?